where Abimbola Agbebiyi is standing by. Abimbola, what's the situation like where you are this morning?
Yes, Nifemi, good morning, Nifemi. Of course, the long-awaited, the much talked about off-season election is finally here in Imo State, and this is the mood in Owerri, the Imo State capital, this morning. There is calm. On our way down here, there's a heavy security presence. At every checkpoint, we have to identify ourselves, show our press tag. Of course, the Independent National Electoral Commission had told us that 44 national and 2 international media organizations were accredited for this exercise, of which 242 journalists are deployed, to the different parts of the state. Of course, on the part of the police, we have also been told that 25,565 personnel, have been deployed to the 27 local government areas in the state, and of course, 33 units of police force, are on the ground. Of course, that's a heavy security presence, according to the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Frank Uba, who have tried to assure residents of Imo State that this is not done to intimidate them, but of course, to assure them of safety of the locations and environment where this exercise will be taking place. Of course, 18 political parties, like we know it, will be participating in this election this time, and of course 2,318,919 permanent voter card, that's representing 95.8% of registered voters have been collected. And of course, 4,720, polling units. Polling will be taking place in 4,720 polling units this morning, out of the 4,758 polling units. So we expect that, all that has been said, INEC had said that is ready for this poll. We expect that they will live up to expectations, this time around. Also, 135 international election observers, national observers and international observers have been accredited, to monitor this exercise. I want to believe that all of this is done to ensure that only accredited persons, are given access, have access to the polling units and, of course, the collation center this morning. Also, preferential treatment, or do I say special consideration, is being given to persons living with disability. There's a special device that is being kept for them, due to the situation. And, of course, that's to show you that INEC, INEC is ready, and they are saying that this is part of their commitment to ensure that it's inclusivity in this election. So we wait to see how things will play out as, we draw close to the scheduled time for this election, Nifemi.
Talk about the scheduled time. What's the timeline? What is INEC saying? When is accreditation and voting expected to begin where you are?
All right, of course, accreditation and voting is expected to begin at 8 a.m. We are yet to move to the polling units, and then, of course, we could see people coming out of their houses, moving to the various polling units. So we expect that what happened in the last election, which a lot of people have talked about, talking about arrival of election materials and all of that, will be checked this time around. I mean, INEC had gone all out to tell us that this time, of course, they said they have reviewed all the errors, recorded in the last election, and they have promised to improve on the processes and procedures of the election. So we expect that there will be some positive, improvement on the election this time around, as they have said. And we also expect that the security agencies, like they have tried to assure us, will live up to expectation in terms of ensuring that the lives of the people and, of course, election materials, are secure. At this election, Nifemi.
Trust me, Nigerians are counting on all of those promises. I can tell that people are also finding their way behind you. It's hard to tell if they are making their way to the polling units, but you talked about a heavy presence of security on your way to where you are. What has been the engagement like? What is their rule of engagement? Can you tell if they are allowing free passage of people this morning?
All right, so we have been to 3 locations where we were stopped, by the security officials, at those places. And I told you earlier that we had to identify ourselves by showing our press tag. Of course, some person who are also trying to move, they had to stop them to ask them questions, where are you going to, and all of that. We observed that some buses who have no business being on the road were also stopped. Some had to turn back because they had passengers in them. I guess they have some place, they are going to. They had some had to turn back, citing, security officials ahead of them. So we do hope that things will go smoothly as they have promised us this time. Of course, we wait to see how things pan out, as we draw close to the election time. Nifemi.
Abimbola live for us in Owerri. Sarah is live in Yenagoa. Hold on. We won't let you go yet. Hopefully, Sarah, that, like you mentioned earlier, collation will happen faster than it did the last time, so that journalists won't have to wait all night to watch the counting and the final announcement of results. But let me also introduce our guest, Jide Ojo, Public Affairs